Content warning. The following discussion contains topics around suicide and mental health that some listeners may find distressing. Listener discretion is advised. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is always available. You can free call or text 1737 to speak with a trained counsellor in New Zealand, or reach out to Lifeline on 0800 543 354. If you are in immediate danger, please call 111.
Hello. I'm Vinay Deobhakta, and this is my podcast, A Fighter's Mind podcast, and I interview people who I find interesting, and in particular who I have identified as having a fighter's mind. And one such person today is Colloden Highlander. How are you?
I'm fine, yep.
And I take it you're Scottish?
Most definitely, yeah.
You're 100% Scottish, or you got some other blood in you?
No, 100%. My mother's a direct descendant from the Vikings, and my father is a Celt, and he was the Crawfords were the border securities.
Wow.
Even though there's actually a castle in Glasgow, which is a Crawford castle.
Fantastic. Now, when I was in England, I met a lot of Scottish people and Irish people as well, and I used to mistake them as being English, and they used to get very offended.
Right.
They were very, very proud people. They were very proud of being Scottish.
Yeah.
And all my life, in fact, when I've come across Scottish people even here, I find them to be extremely proud people, and that Viking blood that runs through them is very important.
Right, yeah.
And does that apply to you?
Not so much, because I've come away from the roots of things because I'm more connected with life now. Yeah.
Where were you born?
I was born in Pukekohe.
Pukekohe?
Yeah.
In South Auckland?
Yeah.
Wow.
But my parents had to come up, I think it was from Leamington or Cambridge. I can't remember much before then because of the car accident that I had. Yeah.
So you were born in Pukekohe. So when did you spend your formative years there? Your primary school?
No, it was down in Ngatia. Mum had to come up north into the Pukekohe hospital because she had eclampsia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you had a car accident.
Yeah.
When was that?
At the age of 5.
Tell me about that.
I was walking across the road, and my father was in the paddock, probably yelling at me. I was halfway across the other side. If I carried on, I'd been okay. But as children do, I ran back. So when the car hit me, it hit me on the point of it stopping, and it flicked me 15 feet into the air. So I came down on my right side of the head, and I was unconscious for 10 days, paralyzed down the left side as well. Because of my paralysis, they didn't put me in traction. And the guy that was driving the car, he was in shock, so he picked me up and handed me to Dad. So if my neck was broken, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. So as a result of that accident, did you suffer any consequences down the line?
Yeah, I still remember waking up in hospital and looking at my parents and saying, "Who are you?" It's like starting life at that stage.
Yeah.
But going to school, I couldn't concentrate. Most of the people, what they were saying just went over my head. So it was like I was in no man's land.
Did the doctors tell you when you're a bit older, or tell your parents that you'd suffered a bit of brain damage?
Yeah, the teachers were concerned, but my dad told me just leave me alone. And my introduction to physical work or rehabilitation was working on the farm. Okay. So it's like getting cows in, setting up electric fences, etc., etc.
But that would have been a little bit when you were a little bit older, right? I just want to go back to when you were 5, when you had this accident.
Yeah.
You went back to school.
Right.
But you struggled.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's what I say, I was like in a dream world.
Okay. Now, you remember how you and I met?
Yeah.
We met through a couple that you were trying to help.
That's right.
You were helping, actually,
Yeah.
a young Māori couple.
Yeah.
And you introduced them to me, and you helped them help them sort of communicate with me.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how you and I met.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was interested in you because I was first of all interested in why you were helping them,
Right.
how you came across to help them, and that's how you and I got to talking. I was impressed that you were helping them.
Mm.
Just before we go into that, I picked up as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you suffer from Asperger's syndrome?
Yes, because my mother has Asperger's and my two brothers have Asperger's. You wouldn't know it because my brother, he's slightly high functioning. I'm more high functioning. But being able to concentrate on learning literature, I get a mental block.
Okay.
I have to work with cognitive mind maps.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is why when you were at school, primary school, I imagine you would have struggled a bit.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. You got through primary school though, obviously.
Yeah.
And did you go to intermediate and high school?
Yeah, I went to intermediate and high school, but I never sat any qualifications. I was always scoring under 45 points, so I could never pass a subject.
Okay. Which high school did you go to?
It was at Mangakahia and Tararoa Area School.
Okay. Forgive me. Whereabouts is that?
Oh, just south of Whangarei.
South of Whangarei.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that's where you're based now too?
Yeah.
So you've spent most of your life in that area?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you leave school?
I left at second year, fifth form. I was trying to do second year, but I was on a work program. You went out for a day's work and then you came back, and that's where I really excelled.
Right.
And an employer came to school looking for an employee, and I was the one. So it was milking cows, cups on at 4:00. So getting the cows in, I didn't do very well at getting the cows in before 4:00.
Okay, so how did you find that experience?
It was a road to consolidation. I didn't have any fears or apprehension because everything was mapped out. It was when I left that job, it was, hello, I'm all alone.
Okay, so how long were you in that job for?
I was in there for 1 year.
Okay.
It should have been longer, but the employer did a handshake deal that he was going to stay there for 8 years. But that fell through because the employer bought another farm that put the shemilka out of
I see.
job. Yeah.
I see. And so you enjoyed that job, that 1 year?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And what did you go on to do after that?
I sort of didn't really want to go farming because of the tedious hours that one does. If it's raining and pouring rain, you've got to get up in the middle of the night to shift the cows, that sort of thing. So I was trying other avenues, like working at the rubbish tip, sorting all the, getting all the scrap metal and stuff like that. Then I did a bit at Onarahi Supermarket, and then I did another bit tow truck driving, which I really enjoyed. But always come back to farming because that's been it's like in my DNA. Yeah.
And your mum and dad supported you farming?
Oh, definitely, yeah. My dad's passed away at the moment because he got gangrene in his toes, and that was the beginning of the end, when his heart would shut down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so did you found yourself farming for quite a while?
Yeah.
Can you remember how long?
Well, it's more than 10 years because this is about my 10th year using the natural medicine homeopathy.
Okay.
But yeah, I have, like, when you're brought up on a farm, it's like it's ingrained in you and you get to know that lifestyle.
Okay. I want to talk to you about your homeopathy a little later.
Yeah.
I want to just try and picture your life.
Yeah.
And so you were farming as an employee in your teens.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what and a little bit of tow truck driving.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what you've been doing. Farming is your staple work.
Yes,
Is that fair to describe it like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And did you ever marry?
Yeah, I married and I ended up having, I think it was 8 children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
So, yeah.
Scottish fertility.
Yeah.
Okay, good on you.
Yeah.
It's those Viking genes.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So what age were you when you married?
It was pretty late. Must have been about 28.
Okay.
There was a 10-year difference between us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about your marriage.
Well, she has Danish heritage. I adopted the eldest daughter.
So she had a child to someone else, and you adopted that child.
That's right. Yeah.
But you had 7 children to her?
Mm.
With her?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And how long did are you still married?
No, she's moved on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when she moved on, what were you doing? Were you still farming then?
Yeah, I was still farming on the farm. Yeah.
Brilliant. Were you farming for other people?
No, it's just virtually, with my mum and dad at the moment. Yeah.
Right. So your mum and dad, when your dad was alive, they encouraged you into a farm. They helped you. It was their farm.
Yeah, it was their farm, so it was a family farm.
Yeah.
But encouragement wasn't really an issue because the desire has to come from yourself.
Right.
Yeah,
So would it be fair to say that you have a passion for farming?
No, because it's a means to an end.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you must be
the
very
farm
good
could
at
be
it.
folded up tomorrow, and then I'll be out of a job. So it's like, well, what resources do I have to fit into another job?
Okay. So what is your passion?
Basically homeopathy.
All right. So tell me, how did you get into? What's the hat you're wearing?
Okay, that's
show that to the camera. There.
It's the hat that I made for homeopathy.
You made that?
Yes.
Right. What does it say?
Radioactive actinoids, which is way of the future.
Wow. Because
everything is about radiation today, the frequencies that we come across. Yeah, it's all about radiation.
All right. So what age were you when you discovered homeopathy?
Oh, well, it'd been about 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yep.
Okay. And have you studied it formally?
Yeah, I did start at the College of Homeopathy here in Auckland. It's not Epsom, it's further down the road.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And tell me about the study. I know nothing about homeopathy.
Well, it used to be 2 days a month for 4 years, but they've since changed it. So it's now 17 hours a week, and it will take 2 years to complete.
So it's a rather intensive course.
Yes,
right.
And it's all online. So within 2 years, you can be qualified. Mm.
All right, and this is a passion of yours?
Yes. Because I didn't finish it because of my Asperger's in putting stuff on paper. What I did is I went out and bought all the books in the library through, the internet and whatnot. I've got books that aren't even available here in New Zealand. And I scan the different authors of their different problems, and that's how I work, through cognitive mind map. So Alicia Lee did a cognitive mind map of the homeopathic remedies, but I still don't connect with her work.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just specific homeopaths that are really good at what they do. And I also go back into their background, where they came from, whether it might be India, it might be the UK, it might be United States. It just depends. Yeah.
Right.
And I get the feeling. It's like dowsing with your mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so to speak, yeah.
And why homeopathy? What brought you to that?
Because it's a pure natural energy. It doesn't have any discrimination. It doesn't have any ambitions, except to help people or to alleviate people's problems.
Okay.
And it doesn't discriminate.
Right.
Whereas if you have a business, you have to discriminate to make your business successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anything happen to you in your life which led you to be interested in homeopathy?
It was just milking cows, and because we're USDA and OP, you had to use alternative medicine, which is homeopathy, and that's what got me into it.
Okay.
So I started off with homeopathic farm support with their remedies, and I had Tenica Burkade's book, and that's how I started going in. And then to further it, that's when I looked into the homeopathic college.
All right. What about any experiences in your own life where homeopathy has helped?
Yeah. I rolled the quad, and I rolled it over my head, so it got a bit squashed.
Wow.
Because the helmet came off.
Just a bit squashed.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't feel it get squashed, but I had a massive burning pain in the very center of my brain. And then I just took phosphorus because it's for burning pain. And it was just like, poof, gone. Another incident was like our neighbor who was bipolar stole copper out of the back of my car. And I was so furious. I had revenge. I had vengeance. I was going to kill him.
Right.
And I went after him, but I also had the stramonium in my pocket, which is made from datura. And I thought, I can't carry on like this. Somebody's going to get hurt or, something drastic is going to happen. So I took a squirt and it was like popping a balloon.
Okay.
And I ended up with dry horrors because I had to find different types of emotions to fill the gap. Because when you have a passion or an intent, you build a mind structure, and when you pop it, it's like you're in a void.
Okay.
And you have to fill it with something else more positive.
Right.
But it just disappeared.
And was this around 10 years ago?
Oh, no. That was only about 5 years ago.
Okay.
It was just recent. Yeah.
Right. So before you went to homeopathy school,
Yeah.
I'm trying to ascertain what triggered in your brain that made you decide, hey, I want to study this.
Well, homeopathy's, you could say it's not natural, but it is natural. It's a hard basket to grasp because I read all the materia medicas, you can read all the therapeutics, and it's like it doesn't fit the picture.
Yep.
But I had to get fascinated with it to understand it.
Okay, so what made you get fascinated in it? Did something happen to the animals? Did something happen to you?
No, when you become fascinated with something, you can take it to the next level.
Right, I see.
Yeah. So if you're into mechanics or if you're into electronics and you get fascinated and you focus, you can go extra far and up the ladder.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you studied homeopathy.
Yeah.
And what have you done with your knowledge?
Well, it's just about expanding my knowledge.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish the qualifications.
Okay.
Yeah.
But have you helped animals?
Yeah.
Right. Have you helped people?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, I had a van, and on it said, are you suicidal? Check in with me before you check out. So it was like a catchphrase. And I had one woman who was following my van give me a call. And she says, I'd like a talk because I'm feeling a bit under the weather. So we had a talk and I gave her a remedy. I think it had rose quartz in it as well. And then I didn't hear from her for a while. And then I caught up with her and I said, whoa, you're pregnant. The remedy wasn't supposed to do that.
Right.
But it unblocked where she was blocked within her mental state of being. And because, when you become blocked, you start to close off from your heart energy. Yeah.
So you helped her.
Yeah.
Okay, and it obviously alleviated a lot of stress for her and depression, whatever she was going through.
Yeah.
Have you ever been through depression yourself?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, when I left school, I thought, well, I'm all by myself. I'm alone. So what I did was, okay, let's pretend that my parents have already died.
Okay.
So what do I need to be able to sustain myself as an individual and to carry on? So even that was really scary.
Right.
But then because I was up against it with no qualifications, and you're under pressure to operate, it was like a deep hole of dark depression where I couldn't get out of.
So what kind of feelings did you have? Can you give me an example when you were in that state?
It's being worthless and not validated. So it gets to the point where you hate yourself, and the main issue is with your thinking, because your three stages of yourself. You've got your ego, your superego, and your inner child. So if those two higher parts, the ego acts like the referee between the superego and the inner child. Your inner child is connected with yourself, the physical part, which makes the decisions
Yes.
according to your superego. Superego is shaped by all the authoritative figures in your life, like your police, teachers, parents, and whatnot. So if that's a negative situation, then you have all those negative thoughts compounding yourself onto the inner child. And then that's when you get your depression, you want to end your life. I never got to that stage because I was too afraid of hurting myself.
Okay.
I didn't want to survive it and then put up with the pain.
Okay. Did you think about it though?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Right.
And I had no help, so I had to work through it myself. And that's when I used rationalization, saying like, well, there's billions of people who lived before me. There's billions of people that are going to live after me. Some people never get to live till they're 5 years old. And some people die in their teenage years. But then what can I put into my life that's going to pull me through all that dark depression?
Right.
And my first point of call that helped me was that my inner child had to throw out of my mind the ego and the superego.
Okay.
So that my inner child was by itself. And then I was like, oh, well, how can an inner child make authoritative decisions? And I said, I know. I'll make my inner child become the teacher. And that's when I started homeopathy school.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. Okay. And so homeopathy obviously the school was very good for you, even though you didn't finish and qualify.
Yeah.
You got a lot out of it. You learnt a lot.
Yeah.
And I take it you still study a lot.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And it's a lot more interesting to you than farming.
Definitely. Yeah,
Farming's the means to the end.
Yeah.
And you're very good at farming too, I've noticed, because even arranging this interview, I had to work around your timetable and everything.
Yeah.
And I gathered that it's quite a workload that you have, quite a responsibility.
Yeah. So I do about 3 jobs. There's the milk delivery, getting up at 4 o'clock every morning to milk the cows, and then the homeopathy part. So the homeopathy tends to suffer a little bit because to be really good at it, you have to be focused.
Yes.
And you can't,
Yes.
when you're doing all these different jobs to put food on the table,
Yes.
and pay the bills.
And you help people. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that without having to go into detail, but like you help a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, I obviously I carry a lot of positive energy now,
Yes.
but I'm very friendly and outgoing
Yes.
because I'm tapping in with what's the problem. If I see somebody who's not right, I want to know why.
Yes. Well, you helped people that were being evicted from their house.
Yeah.
How so how did you meet these people?
Yeah. It was just like offering the He Whakaputanga flag and the Rangatirangatanga flag as well. So it just lifted them up. And then I went back and I developed a relationship with them. Obviously, they've both been in prison. So just talking about it helps them to process what they've been through.
And so they were Maori?
Yes.
And you have a lot of Maori friends?
Yes, I do, yeah.
I have a company. Well, I have a company called Maori Mackenzie Friends.
Right. Oh, okay.
And that company it helps people in self-litigation.
Right.
Right? So that's why I was able to help them when you introduced me to them. I was fascinated how you knew these people. Did you meet them on the street? Did you?
Yeah. They were pulling out a driveway. I just pulled up and say, here's a sticker for your car.
Right.
And they automatically connected with that because it was the He Whakaputanga flag.
Okay. And I hear that you also travel the North Island.
Yeah.
Where you, in fact, give presentations on whakaputanga.
Yeah. And also Te Tiri Te Waitangi.
Wow.
So the He Whakaputanga and Te Tiri Te Waitangi is tied up together, but Te Tiri Te Waitangi cancelled out He Whakaputanga because Te Tiri Te Waitangi they gave permission for the government and the Crown to take over the welfare of the land and the people because sovereignty was about sovereignty. And And then when Te Tiriti Waitangi came in, they lost that sovereignty.
Yes.
Because then they became disabled infants where the government would take care of them. The government is the parent.
And where did your interest come from in this?
It actually came from the Piggery bookshop where I bought secondhand books, and that's also how I got into homeopathy as well.
Yes.
There was some secondhand books in homeopathy.
That's a fantastic secondhand book in Whangarei. I'm familiar with that myself.
Oh, okay.
It's an amazing place,
Yeah.
actually. You walk in there and people like you and me, I guess, we could spend days there going through.
Well, if you're only particular about one topic, it's quite simple. You just walk in, no books today, walk out. But there was a time when the hospital was deactivating their library, so all their books came to the Piggery.
I see.
And it was like a big magnet for me.
And what about your interest in the Māori history, whakaputanga?
Oh, right.
Treaty of Waitangi.
Well, we know about all the, what do you call it? Inequalities that is being focused with the government. It actually doesn't matter what race you come from, there is always inequalities because government's all about control. But what fascinated me was the He Whakaputanga and Te Tiriti Waitangi still being activated today. And that's what started me delving into their culture or history to find out how they came to be as they are. The whole world is actually watching what happens to Te Tiriti Waitangi.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. I'm actually giving a presentation in the Bay of Plenty later on this year.
Yeah.
I think it's titled Beware of Serpents on the Water Bearing Dubious Gifts.
Okay.
You might be interested in coming along to that and maybe even being a guest speaker.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Know a thing. Have you read Ewan Campbell's book?
Yes, I've read Ewan Campbell's book.
All right. So
I'm familiar with that.
You're familiar with that?
Yeah.
Right. So you understand a thing or two about corporations.
Yeah, that's right. So your last name is your corporate name. That's why police are hell-bent on when they pull you over, they want your license and your surname because that's what gives them the consent that they need to pursue an assumption that they write on the piece of paper.
So you know a little bit about that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you after.
Probably about too much of it.
Oh, well, I'll talk to you after. And as I say, it may be that I'll invite you to come along as you can be a guest speaker as well.
Right, okay.
At that. That's a revelation to me. Okay, so you've got a lot of interest, haven't you?
Yeah, and that's just building up, having an interest on humanity. What shapes humanity? How do they get stuck in their structural minds with their emotions? And then that's what causes not a disease, but a dis-ease, where the body becomes unbalanced.
So you have obviously been through your own struggles.
Yeah.
And you've got to a point now where you're helping other people.
Yeah.
Māori in particular, it seems to me.
Yeah.
Tell me, did you marry? Is your marriage still going? Or
no, she left. Right. Yeah. Basically, the background on that is that her father was also her grandfather. So she didn't have the qualities to be able to be emotionally stable, and she tried to recreate that situation that she came from, which was all based on victimology. I didn't want any of that.
Okay. And
I just left. Okay. Well, she left me because she wanted me to react so that she wouldn't take the three youngest children away from me.
Okay. And the kids, the kids will be adults now? Are you okay?
Most of them are relationships. I've still got two going to school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, and where do you live now?
On the family farm.
So you're on the family farm,
yeah.
And it's...
Mum and Dad bought that farm back in 1982. So I went from Mangakahia School to Tararoa School. Yeah, and that's when the change was.
Okay. And so aspirations for the future?
It's very unpredictable because of the economy, the destabilization of companies shutting down like Marsden Point. There's no more railway between Whangarei and Dargaville. So, yeah, I thought the aluminium smelter had died down. If we've got all these companies folding over, massive unemployment, we're going to end up with identity crisis.
Right. So you're familiar, and so you follow the local politics up there?
Yeah.
Whangarei?
Not really, but it's just all the stupid mistakes that the governments are doing, like giving billions away to all these high tech, like Google, Spotify. That's not business.
Well, they closed the refinery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a hot topic of conversation.
Yeah. They've reopened all the tanks for storage, but we spent billions of dollars of our taxpayers' money getting it up and running, and now they've closed it down. Winston Peters wants to build a railway between Whangarei and Marsden Point. Well, what's the point in that if 10 years' time it's going to be falling over like the aluminium smelter and all that kind of jazz?
And, of course, Vince Kokorulu, the former mayor.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, he was quite a popular mayor.
Yeah, yeah.
And I interviewed him on this show earlier this year.
Okay.
I asked him if he wanted to run for mayor again, and he was pretty cagey.
Yeah, yeah.
And, of course, it's been announced that he's now the candidate for New Zealand First.
Yes, that's right.
So it's possible he'll be back on the show. I might put him through the ropes again. This time not a friendly interview. Give him some practice on how to really debate a few things.
Yeah.
And myself. So, again, what's any views on politics? In particular, as they relate to Northland?
Yeah. Not really, because you're dealing with corporations. The thing with, like, if we go back to He Whakaputanga, right? He Whakaputanga was the Confederation of United Tribes.
When was that? 1830?
Before 1947.
Before 1847?
No, 1947.
1947.
Yeah, because the government changed the word Māori to meaning their race. Before that, Māoris were considered Aborigine. Mm-hmm. It's even on Te Tiriti Waitangi. Te Tiriti Waitangi was signed under New Tyranny, not Aotearoa.
Okay.
Yeah, and Aotearoa came about in 1974. I was in Standard 4. I remember them protesting. Mm-hmm. So if you get all that, it's deteriorating what was signed in 1840. In 1840, let's go back in 1840, Te Tiriti Waitangi was signed under New Tyranny. Mm-hmm. That was the name of this country. Mm-hmm. We became New Zealand in 1841, and it was the co-founder of William Wakefield was the founder of the New Zealand Corporate Chartered Company. So it's a dead fictitious entity. It only exists on paper. It doesn't have any jurisdiction over the people, and that's why corporate companies need consent that a dead entity exists.
I see. Well, there will definitely be some local Māori in the Bay of Plenty that will be interested in meeting you later on in the year.
Yeah, yeah.
So I will talk to you after the show about coming along to a presentation that I've been invited to make there.
Yeah.
And you might be able to help me a lot, actually.
Okay.
All right. With your knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So listen, it's been good having you on the show today.
Right.
I think you're a really interesting guy. You definitely have a fighter's mind. You've been through a lot of crap yourself.
Yeah.
In your life, and it seems to me that you've dealt with it, and you are dealing with it. But also you're helping a lot of other people, particularly Māori. Yeah, and that impresses me. All right. Mm-hmm. And I wish you the best for everything in the future. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, this is Vinay Deobhakta, and really good having Colloden Highlander on the show today, a man with a fighter's mind and someone you'll be seeing again. Thank you. Cool.